Hi everybody. I am sitting in my office in sunny St. Augustine, and I decided that I wanted to share something with you on this video that I think is a really practical thing for all of us to be doing right now. I wrote about it in a blog that I posted a couple of weeks ago on March 11th, and it was generally just about what I'm doing right now to take care of myself. And in it I referenced working on my lymph reflexes every evening when I got into bed. So I thought I would show you those, being you might not know where they are. So they exist on the feet and on the hands, and and I'm going to just show you from my hands because it's a lot easier for me to do that right now. But they're really all on, most of them are all on the dorsal side, the top part of your hand or the dorsal part of your foot. And in that I actually find to be pretty interesting too. The heart and the lung reflexes are all on the plantar surface, or the palmar surface of your hands, the plantar surface of your foot. And so every time we stand and walk, anytime we're using our hands, we're stimulating those, so we keep our heart rate and our breathing really supported. The lymph reflexes, though, and this is the part I find interesting, are on the top part, so they're not being overly stimulated. Because if we overly stimulate our lymph system, sometimes it can be just a little bit too much for us to take. So the lymph reflexes that we're going to work on are on the top of the hand or the top of the foot, and they basically are going to start where your toes or your fingers meet the rest of the hand, and from that area right down into your wrist or your ankle area, you're going to cover pretty well all of the lymph reflexes. So we'll be touching into the cervical lymph nodes, all the lymph vessels that are in your neck, your cervical area, the thoracic area, the abdominal area. We'll touch into the subclavian reflex, which is the part of the lymph system that every bit of your lymph has to dump into at the end of its cycle. We'll also touch into the thoracic duct and the lymphatic duct and the groin lymph nodes, all of it. And I'm not going to go through the location of all of them. I'm just going to show you how to work them all. It's actually really, really easy. So lymph vessels too in your body are fairly close to the surface. They do not require a lot of pressure. So let's use our fingers. Give our thumbs a rest. So I would start either on this side of my hand or on the thumb side. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to start right at this joint between what people call their knuckle. It's the head of your metacarpal. I'm going to start at the joint between that and the fingers. I'm going to just lay my own finger down, and then I'm going to finger walk. So when I learned reflexology in Canada, we called this finger walking. In other countries like the UK, I know they call it caterpillaring, but it's the same thing. So I'm going to go all the way down, and there's the wrist. Right in here you feel the joint where your hand can flex, can bend back and forth like that. I'm going to come up now to where the fourth zone, the ring finger area. And I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to apply pressure and then lighten up as I just slide forward a little bit. Pressure in again, lighten up, pressure in, lighten up, pressure in, lighten up. Now you don't have to give a lot of pressure though. Just make sure that you have a difference in your pressure between when you're bending your finger in and when you're sliding forward. So you're just going to start right up at this joint on all of these digits, walk all the way down. I want to suggest that you come back and then just walk in between the zones, in between where your knuckles are. So might have to angle my finger a little bit to come in there. And then I ran into something. I ran into the base of the metacarpals. And I'll stop. Come up between these two. In between here. If I come in between the thumb and the index finger, I'll come right down to where the subclavian point is. Right? You can kind of squeeze, or we call it milking, the web between each of your fingers. And then you can also work in the other direction. So again, I could take one, or I could take two fingers. You could take your middle finger if you want. Take your index, your middle, take two, doesn't matter. And this coming across like this is kind of a bumpy ride. Like I'm going to walk over the head of the metacarpal, the knuckle, into a little valley in between, over again, into the valley, all the way across. Now, of course, when I'm doing this on myself, I'm not holding my hand up in the air. I have it just resting on my lap. I typically prefer to work on my feet. I find that to be much more effective. If you're not able to reach your feet, it's not comfortable for you to do that, work your hands. You'll still get lots of good relief and help with that. And not only are you going to work your lymph reflexes, so you're supporting your immune system here right now. The key is really getting your immune system strong. And I don't know if you've seen this yet, but one of the drugs, the main drug that they're really looking at right now for treatment for the coronavirus is one that boosts the immune system. So we can do this. Apply some lotion on your hands or your feet as you're doing that. And not only will you boost your lymph system, though, you'll have a much better night's sleep. So I hope this is helpful to you.